In 1957, deep within the Soviet Urals, a silent disaster occurred. A calamity so severe that it dwarfed even Chernobyl, yet remained hidden for decades. It took place at Mayak, a secret nuclear facility built in 1946. Today it is known as the Kyshtym Disaster. Named after the nearest town, it's a story of Cold War paranoia, unchecked ambition, and radioactive betrayal. The world remembers Chernobyl, but this was bigger. And it was erased. Imagine this. A nuclear waste tank overheats, explodes, with 70 at 100 megatons of force, equivalent to a large thermonuclear bomb. A mushroom cloud rises nearly 6 kilometers into the sky. This is not science fiction. It is the truth they didn't want you to know. What follows is the hidden history of Kyshtym, a disaster buried in secrecy, yet devastating in its consequences. This is a story of radiation and repression, of people who disappeared, and of the catastrophic cost of secrets. Welcome to the forgotten nuclear disaster, worse than Chernobyl, the Kyshtym tragedy. After World War II, Stalin's priority was nuclear supremacy. The US had atomic bombs, and the Soviets responded with Mayak, a sprawling complex to produce plutonium for weapons, but they were racing against the clock. Safety was second to speed. Tanks built of thin steel lined with organic solvents stored highly radioactive materials, with no cooling contingency. Local villagers, farmers, shepherds were recruited, often unaware of what they were handling. Radiation. Readings soared. Earth defects and cancers spiked. Yet the camp was silent. No signs, no warnings. Residents didn't know the radius of death expanding around them. On September 29, 1957, the worst was yet to come. At dawn, a tank ruptured catastrophically. The explosion obliterated a building and sent a 6-kilometer radiation cloud into the wind. For 20 minutes, the cloud hovered. For days, radioactive fallout reigned over the landscape. Earth, water, vegetation, all poisoned. 10,000 square kilometers were contaminated. 270,000 people lay in the path of death, but they were never warned. Villagers woke to dead fish, dying cattle, and cursed livestock. Their memories filled with headaches, sores, and the sudden disappearance of entire families. Soviet authorities evacuated some, but kept it secret. Signed non-disclosure orders, ruined homes, burned documents. This was a cleanup of ghosts. Not bodies, fear became the official state currency. Words were erased. People were erased. Their pain remained. For decades, residents lived in the filtered zone, barely decontaminated villages neighboring Mayak. No compensation, no care. Just whispered rumors of the zone. Grannies who greeted the dead as if they were ghosts. Children born with deformities. Teenagers with tumor-laden lungs. Eyewitness accounts were silenced by silence. No media, no science, but they persisted. Researchers pieced together stories from hushed letters and old tapes. One survivor told of chasing radioactive deer. Another described fields that glowed at night, and those who spoke were monitored, disappeared, or forced into exile. The Kyshtym tragedy became a phantom in archives and in people's nightmares. In 1990, the Soviet Union finally revealed Kyshtym's scale. It was designated level 6 on the INES scale, worse than the 1986 Chernobyl disaster, level 7, yet largely unknown. Today, the area remains contaminated. Radiation hotspots linger in forests and lakes. The land unwilling to forget, the tragedy raises pressing questions. How many more Kyshtyms remain hidden? What price will governments pay to protect secrets over people? Chernobyl got its day in the sun. Mayak got its day in shadow. But the color of forgetfulness is not healing. It's betrayal, we must carry these ghosts forward. Not to prosecute, but to prevent. Because when we censor catastrophe, we ensure it repeats. The Kyshtym tragedy is not just a disaster. It is a warning echoing across time and space. If we forget, we are complicit. Today, we remember. This is The Invisible Collapse. Subscribe. Share. Don't let history vanish again.